But right now, let me bring you up to speed with the Embakasi gas explosion, where Derek Kimathi, the owner of the facility in Nairobi's Embakasi East, where gas exploded, killing 6 people, was yesterday arraigned in court. He was arraigned alongside 3 other officials of the National Environment Management Authority for neglect and abuse of office. Milimani Law Court Trial Magistrate, that is Dolphina Alegal, is expected to make a ruling on the Directorate of Criminal Investigations, that is application to detain the 4 suspects for 21 days to complete investigations. Ruth Wamboi with the details from the courts.
4 of the 9 suspects in the Embakasi gas plant explosion that left 6 people dead and at least 300 others injured were arraigned in court. The investigating officer Isaac Tenai told trial magistrate Dolphina Alego that they intend to charge the facility owner Derek Kimathi for negligence, while the 3 officials of NEMA, Joseph Makau, David Walunya and Mariam Mutete, for abuse of office.
The abuse of office, contrary to section 46, as read with section 48.1 of the Anti-Corruption and Economic Crimes Act. Your Honor, the application is supported by the grounds on the face of that application. There is a supporting affidavit which is deposed by Chief Inspector Isaac Tenai, and the state is seeking for the orders of this court that the respondents hearing, who are suspects in the 4 offenses, will be detained for 21 days to allow the investigators in this matter to complete investigations.
In a miscellaneous application to detain the suspect, the prosecution told the court that the investigations are complex and that they require 21 days to conduct DNA tests on bodies that were burned beyond recognition.
The process of identifying the vehicles is still ongoing. The buildings are yet to be inspected to ascertain the amount of damage, so as to enable us inform the decision on who is culpable.
The prosecution also said that they were trailing 5 other suspects who are still at large. The lead investigator, Isaac Tenai, also cited the 300 survivors in various hospitals to argue the enormity of the case.
Suspects who are still at large, and we are yet to arrest them for statement recording, and in that releasing of the respondents at the moment might impair our investigations.
The defense, however, opposed the state's application, saying it has no legal basis and urged the court to dismiss it.
The state owes every one of us a duty to be provided with security.
Yes, Your Honor.
Up until when my client surrendered himself to your station, had you received any information that anybody had threatened him because of this matter?
The magistrate will give his ruling Tuesday afternoon. The 4 suspects in the Embakasi gas plant explosion that occurred on the night of 1st February 2024 will continue to be the guests of the state until a magistrate's court makes a ruling on the same. Ruth Wamboi reporting from Milimani Law Courts.
Thank you, Ruth Wamboi, for that report, and it's a report that will be keeping you, updated later on in our bulletins during the day. Now, Azimio la Umoja coalition leader Raila Odinga says the deadly gas explosion in Embakasi could have been avoided. Speaking when he visited the victims of the 1st February incident, Raila accused the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority and other relevant agencies of failing to shut the gas operations before the tragedy struck. Now, the ODM leader spoke even as Nairobi County Governor, that is Johnson Sakaja, ordered for the closure of gas plants operating near residential areas.
Opposition leader Raila Odinga on Tuesday visited the scene of gas explosion tragedy in Mradi Estate in Embakasi that left hundreds injured and a few dead. The opposition leader turned the heat on the Energy and Petroleum Regulatory Authority (EPRA) and other government agencies, saying corruption must have played a part in allowing the plant to operate in a residential area. He wondered why the investigations were taking days to complete.
Ikiwa mahali karibu na pale watu wanaishi. Ukienda kwenye madepots ya makampuni ya mafuta, kila mahali ambayo unaona iko pale kwa petroli pale na pale ya kuweka gasi inawekwa kando. Tena mbali sana. Tena mahali ambayo iko wazi, yani open air space. Pale ambayo gasi hata ikivuja, gasi inaenda kwa hewa juu.
Kama kweli huyu jamaa hakuwa na leseni, inawezekanaje kwamba EPRA wasijue, governor asijue, chief asijue, polisi wasijue? Haiwezekani.
Raila, who met the victims of the explosion at the Embakasi Social Hall and the Kenyatta National Hospital, called for their compensation.
This is a result of negligence of duty. This is an accident which should not have taken place. If the authorities charged the responsibility of inspection and supervision did their jobs.
Meanwhile, Nairobi Governor Johnson Sakaja has ordered gas plants operating near residential areas to be shut down with immediate effect.
Kama kuna biashara kama hii inaendelea kwako na hujasema, wewe pia utajibu. Kote Nairobi we know where such operations should be. List imepatikana leo na zifunga zote.
Sakaja said all 17 sub-county officials had been given authority to close illegal businesses in the county to avert more danger facing Kenyans.
Giverson Maina reporting there. Now, 6 people are reported to have died at Kangai Ward in Kerugoya, Kirinyaga County after consuming illicit brew. Health officials have confirmed that 1 person died while receiving treatment at the Kerugoya County Referral Hospital, while the other 5 are said to have died at home, according to their families. Now, the deceased are part of a group that had taken the brew from a bar that is said to have been operating illegally. 11 people were rushed to hospital presenting with symptoms such as blood vision. Out of the 11 taken to hospital, 6 were treated and are said to be in stable condition.
We have also other information from relatives and the family members, which we are yet to confirm, that they are saying that they had lost 5 other relatives who had taken this illicit brew, and it's that they died at their own residence, that is their own homes, and therefore they were taken to mortuary directly.
California sio mara yetu ya kwanza kuwa na yeye kwa kumkamata kwa sababu ya pombe haramu. Amekamatwa mara mingi kuanzia wakati niliingia hapa, tumemkamata mara mingi, ameenda kotini na mara mingi kesi zinarudi zinatupwa kutoka kotini.
California ambayo ni Kangai Ward yenye nasikia ikisemekana walikuwa huko haijakuwa licensed, tulifanya inspections na committee ikareject hiyo bar.
Watoto wetu utapeleka wapi, tutaenda wapi, tuambiwe mahali tutakaa. Hata Marura ilikuisa, hata papa ikuisa, Kangai pombe ikuise. Pombe kila saa pombe. Kuna mburadhangu yako hapa na amekunywa na aoni, macho imepotea. Sasa tunauliza hii pombe itatufikisha wapi?
Now to the Shakahola story, where Good News International Ministries founder Pastor Paul Nthenge Mackenzie and 29 associates have denied 191 counts of murder concerning the Shakahola massacre. Now appearing before Malindi High Court Judge Mugure Thande, the 30 suspects denied killing 191 children, most of whom were unidentified, a crime the state says was committed between the 2021 and 2023 at the Shakahola Forest in Kilifi County.
Tuesday morning at the Malindi Court, Kilifi County. Good News International Ministries founder Pastor Paul Nthenge Mackenzie and 29 associates are seen arriving at the court buildings for the hearing of the Shakahola massacre case. Appearing before Judge Mugure Thande, the suspects denied the charges of murdering 191 children who were exhumed at the Shakahola forest.
One of the suspects, Evans Colombe Syria, did not, however, take a plea after a psychiatrist's report showed that he was mentally ill and not fit to stand trial. Deputy Director of Public Prosecution Victor Mule told the court Syria will continue undergoing mental treatment for 30 days, after which he will be re-examined to establish if he will be fit to take the plea.
A private doctor shall be allowed to examine accused number 4, and a report shall be filed by the 12th of March 2024.
Lady Justice Thande ordered the accused persons to continue being remanded at the Shimulatewa Maximum Prison until March 7, 2024, when the case will be heard to determine the outcome of a preliminary objection filed by defense lawyer James Moko.
So the personal effects of the accused, which were left in Kilifi and Malindi prisons, are to be sent to them in Shimulatewa. The female accused persons are to be facilitated by prison authorities to have their hair cut.
Lady Justice Muguro said the bond application will be made after the determination of the preliminary objection.
Now, Kenya is set to benefit from agriculture and drone technology from Ukraine's expertise to improve the country's food security. A Ukrainian delegation visiting the country to foster relations says Kenya remains the gateway to Africa and has a lot in common with Ukraine.
A Ukrainian delegation consisting of diplomats and politicians is in the country holding discussions with players in various sectors, including trade, environment, academic institutions, and parliament. Top on the agenda is ensuring Kenya has the technology it needs to feed itself and tackle the cost of living.
That's why we have already met with institutions such as the Kenyan Invest Institution and the Kenya National Chamber of Commerce, as well as leading business people to discuss agri-tech and the use of drones and AI for farming that can help Kenya not be just food secure, but food sovereign.
We see Kenya as a gateway to Africa, and we believe that Ukraine can be Kenya's port for Europe, from drones to special economic zones. I believe that Ukraine can share a lot of experience in both eGov and new technology to our partners in Kenya.
They say Ukraine will continue to donate grains to Africa amid the ongoing war with Russia.
Signing of different memoranda and agreements. That is on our government side, and I'm very proud to say that the Ukrainian and the Kenyan government have been doing tremendous work, again, despite the difficult wartime conditions that Ukraine is in.
The delegation noted that through strategic partnership, both countries can benefit from youth talent, growth in markets, and dynamism of the economies.
My mission is to strengthen cooperation and relationships between Kenya and Ukraine through culture and cultural means. I've already experienced myself how vibrant and diverse and rich culture of Kenya is. And believe me, in Ukraine we have nothing worse than as well very rich and amazing culture. And we see there is a lot of potential in order to establish cultural cooperation and cultural exchange.
The delegation is in the country for a 6-day visit.
Reporting there. Now let's look at news making headlines in the counties, where 4 people have been admitted to different hospitals in Migori County with suspected cholera. Now their first cholera case was reported on Friday last week. And meanwhile, Matatu operators and revenue collection officers have clashed in Kakamega County over an alleged move by the county to introduce a new levy without conducting public participation. Let's get more details.
The outbreak in Migori County, Deputy Governor Dr. Gimunta Mahiri said they have intensified surveillance in the county to prevent the further spread of cholera.
The only thing that we are as a county is the preparedness to handle such cases when there is an outbreak. We already assure that we have contained already the 3 cases that are under treatment. We have dispatched the drugs to those facilities, and any kind of emergencies we are ready to handle. That's the preparedness we are. We have enough drugs to handle such cases. Yeah.
In Kakamega County, public transport in Kakamega town was paralyzed for hours after matatu operators engaged revenue officers in running battles over revenue collection.
Tunaomba ya kwamba gavana aingilie swala hili ili atatue mambo ya kutoa ushuru wa magari. Kama sio namna hivyo, sisi tutaendelea kulumbana nao kwa sababu ripoti mwenyewe hajaipata.
Separately, the State Department of Correctional Services is collaborating with counties to enhance food production and orphan skill services.
And we have agreed to collaborate with the county government that they can give us a cabro making machine. We make our own cabro, and they also contract us in various skills, in various areas, to do some of their works.
Elsewhere, Southeastern Kenya University SECU has announced that it will begin the construction of the Mwingi campus 8 years after its construction was launched by the then county government.
We'll be wanting to see if we can be able to have the infrastructure that can help us to start our campus. And from that, I think we should start building slowly on what we have and pray that one day that this can actually become a university.
Finally, the Kenya Plant Health Inspectorate Service KFIS officers have launched a crackdown on fake maize seeds in Narok.
Our main objective was also to ensure that the seed that the farmers are getting are not counterfeit. And this is a risk of the farmers getting low yield.
From the counties, we go to business news, where the cost of credit is likely to rise further following a decision by the Central Bank of Kenya to increase the benchmark lending rate by 50 basis points to 13%. Now, policymakers of the central bank said the decision was informed by inflationary pressures that have kept the overall inflation in the upper bound of the target range. In addition, the policymakers noted that continued pressures on the shilling. Now, the central bank says increasing the benchmark lending would help push inflation towards the 5% midpoint of the target range and reduce pressure on the shilling. The committee, which is chaired by the central bank governor, that is Dr. Kamau Thuge, is expected to hold the next monetary policy committee meeting in April this year. Parliamentary Committee is reviewing the existing regulation to address the emerging challenges brought by the adoption of emerging technologies such as artificial intelligence, Internet of Things and machine learning. Led by their chair and member of Parliament for Dagoretti South, that is John Karemi, the MPs say they are engaging stakeholders in the space in order to develop overarching laws that do not stifle innovation.
So we are looking for a way where our laws would allow for sandboxing so that innovators are able to test their innovation safely before it is deployed to the publics. You remember Kenya has had the unfortunate unfortunate chance to be a guinea pig in testing technology. If you remember, Kenya was named as one of the victims of the Cambridge Analytica experiment in our 2013 elections. Kenya was also the theater of play for WorldCoin and the iris scans. This is technology running ahead of policy, technology running ahead of legislation, technology running ahead of regulation. And we are thinking, because it is not in our place as parliament to stifle innovation, what our laws ought to do is provide for a safe testing space. And that is why the idea of sandboxing becomes very attractive. But also in the laws, as we are stipulating the laws, we also can do very overarching laws that speak generally to the issues that we need to mitigate against without being prescriptive and without stifling innovation.
A look at sports now, as speedster Jasmine Chana says he expects his new Rally 2 machine to produce more nerve-wracking moments in his fourth attempt at the WRC Safari Rally. This year's edition of the Safari Rally will be held from March the 28th to the 31st in Naivasha.
Chana will move from his long-standing Mitsubishi Evolution X Drive and upgrade to a Rally 2 car well in time for the iconic Safari. During the safari, Iceman will have his pace notes called by his elder brother Ravichana and hold hand in the game.
Car has been ready, for the safari now. After the first Eldoret rally in February is when we'll strip it down, but at the same time we might upgrade for the safari.
The 2023 season was Iceman's best, and he attributes it to his sponsors' input.
You can't fight with an R5 with an Evo, but we fought well, and the fruits were well, and yes, we proved the point that we can be, recognized as well.
The Nairobi-based driver is yet to reveal the car will steer on safari, but is convinced that an upgrade to Rally 2 will enable him to score WRC 2 points.
Of course, that story by Dan Moindwa brings us to the end of the news this morning. Thank you so much for taking the time to start your day with us here on Good Morning Kenya. We are not yet done. Victor, Lo, Mike, together with Vivian, are still in studio and will be bringing you up to speed with the happenings in as far as the show is concerned. But remember, the 2023 AFCON is taking place tonight, the semi-finals. That is Ivory Coast versus DRC at 11 p.m. And of course, at 8 p.m., the Super Eagles, that is Nigeria, taking on Bafana of South Africa. So do not miss that match. That will be televised live on KBC Channel 1. My name is Marie Yambo and hope to see you again tomorrow, God willing.